Hi everyone, so today we're going to look at Horman. Okay. I've done a few readings on Horman. I had not heard of this case, but it just came to me, and I had I believe it was his spirit, and I do want to get this. A member's requested this further reading. They asked me a question, and I said I would do a reading. I did do a location reading because I was getting, as I was moving with where they saw the stepmom go down certain roads, etc. I was following maps of that area, and I got warm. I got the feelings I needed to at certain pinpoints. So if you're not familiar with Kyron Horman's case, Kyron was last seen on the 4th of June 2010. We are now 15 years later. And his date of birth says here 9th of September 2002. Obviously he's male, he's white, his hair is like, it's written brown, but it's like a blondie brown, and he's got blue eyes. He was last seen wearing a black CSI t-shirt, black cargo pants, white socks, well-worn black Skechers tennis shoes, orange trim, and there is a 50,000 reward. If you've got any information, call the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office tip line at, this is in the US, 503-988-0560. So that's about Kyron. Kyron was living with his father and his stepmother at the time. Kyron was on his last day seen, was taken to school by his stepmother in his dad's white truck, and this was allegedly because of an art painting he did. They were having an art day. There's something about a doctor's, which reminds me that's a question I need to ask. There's a doctor's appointment. I can't remember if it was supposed to be that day. I haven't looked back to watch my videos. Now I'm a bit all over the place because I want to get this reading out of the way, not to just get it out of the way, but also in case we want to do some channeling, I have to filter my channel with what I've already got, either to remind us of or to go through. Going back to the video of the location, I did do a quick video on that. Now, because I put a clip where I put, this is taken from credit to, they asked for copyright, and when I took that clip out, it messed the whole video up, so I just took that video down. But I'm going to try and remember, and if so, then I might need to do it again. They weren't far off finding Kyron. And I'm trying to remember, I know that their school is here and his house is somewhere very, very close by. And I don't feel it's that direction or that direction. It was this direction or this direction. So if I'm looking at the map, it's northeast, but actually it's northwest, south, you know. But I had pinpointed northwest or northeast, southwest, southeast. I'd pinpointed that. Now I also want to say, because I've got notes with me, you know, I've mentioned Michael Vaughan's mom is not well. I don't believe she's well. Disclaimer, this is for my entertainment purposes only. This is my observations, my opinion. Why am I saying observations? This is for entertainment purposes only. This is not facts. Do your own fact finding, and justice is to serve and find people guilty or innocent. This is only for entertainment purposes only. You all know that, don't you? And you check my description box to find the full disclaimer. So when I was thinking about the mother, she's still very much heartbroken. I get a pit in my gut as well. And one of the things I was thinking of is that a crystal that's going to be very, it just came to me actually, a crystal that's going to be very grounding and healing and bring her peace. But I also, she might get like signs either from Kyron about the case or some downloads, everything that is going to come through the stone is going to be important, healing for her. And some of it could be downloads for this case. I don't want to, it's not a pure black tourmaline or obsidian. It's got to have white in it, and it's not a pure like clear quartz where people will be like, that's your crown chakra now. So I've got an example here of a snowflake obsidian. You can see it's got white in it, right? So something like this, but it doesn't have to have that much white. It can be one spot of white in it. So obsidian, tourmaline, it's naturally naturally a dark black stone or gem or crystal. The white is the lesser. So we're not talking about how light is white with the black. We're talking about black mainly, but there's a significance of a bit of white on it that's there, and I've checked this, that will be very significant. That will be very good for his mother. And please, anyone watching this, even if the mother comes upon it, take this with a pinch of salt if you feel it doesn't resonate for you. Okay, I'm doing this, it will go to members first, but then it will be released openly, because obviously it's to help, in this case, of genuine people. I remember in my first reading I said that a man is involved, and I know that there was significance of her best friend Dee Dee knowing or being involved. So a lot of people saying about her, but a man was involved. I was getting strongly that if Kyron was placed in this bushy area, but it's not very dense forest, by the way, he's not in a shallow grave, it's just kind of like off the road a little bit. There's an openness to it, so it's not dense wood, there's trees. And you know, not drainage of the roads where there's a drain like that and then there's lines across it like the roads, you know, you see the drainage for the rain. It's like a massive drain where it's really heavy to lift the lid, and it would go, it'd be like enough to get an adult body in. It's like whole tunnel. Sometimes you find them in like big roads, not actually the road, but like I see it off the road in this forest, going into a forest area. And if Kyron is found in that area, the man disposed. The stepmom was with this male. Was this male in the car driving, or was this male following to help the disposal? She did this. It wasn't him. The last thing done to Kyron, not the disposal, for Kyron to go is, I'm going to pull cards again, allegedly the stepmom. But I so strongly feel there was a man involved to help, more than this Dee Dee friend. Although Dee Dee, I believe I got 3 people, right? I believe Dee Dee knows. Like I'm saying, if Kyron's found in this massive drain thing, where there's some water as well, the man mainly disposed, and he put the drain lid back. I see that. If Kyron is just off the road in like an open bit of the trail of the road area. So here's the road. I see an open area where you can park the car and then you can go in a little bit. It's not far off the road. It's not further into the very dense areas at the time, you know, that's why I also asked weather conditions there, because I felt like there needed to be some movement where he is to remove the stagnation and move, you know, his bones or the energy there to gain momentum again on the case. If they have disruptive weather or flooding or something. They were looking in the right direction, but I feel like they missed some parts where it was a bit open. And I think if they had dogs in certain parts of the search, if not all of them, the dog would have picked up on going a little bit towards the way it would have been. Now, I remember when I did the location, there's a highway going straight, and there's a traffic light here, and then you turn, and I believe there's a bridge to go on Suave Island, or there's a bridge, and longer down the route there's Suave Island. Here on this traffic light, on this side, the corner and the other corner, I was getting hits, okay, on this side. That is one area I marked, and I think there was St. Helens Road there. I've tried to remember some of the stuff which I'm going to go through, but it's not all, because I really feel confident when I'm getting the hits, and I was getting chills there. I also believe he has like a toy, or he has something that was just flung out the car, right? So this male knows something. This male helped, and especially helped if Kyron's found in a drain. But who did this was not him. And her true motives, her full motive for what this was done, no one really knew, even her friend, Dee Dee. I believe, if I remember, I said there was some kind of conflict argument in the night. She was emotionally abusive to Kyron. And this is why in my reading, you know, I mentioned the father guardian, because that is not something that you can not see or unsee. But maybe he didn't see it serious, but it was emotional abuse. And I'm not pinpointing fingers. Remember, this is only for disclaimer benefits. Entertainment purposes only. So let's go to my note. By the way, he adored his mum, and obviously he still adores his mum. But she was cruel, not the mum. The other one was cruel to him. And it was kind of like, one of the things is definitely she wanted her own family, her own perfect, pretty family with the stepdad. And Kyron wasn't that, and it was and there was a bit of a retaliation, but that's what it was. I also feel on that day when she took him, and this is why there could be water energy, is because she said to him, okay, we're going to go to the beach or a water park or a play pond or something. I also feel like he might have been given a soda with something in it that knocked him unconscious. I don't think the school or whoever says they saw him last at 8:45 is correct. I believe he was last seen maybe 8:20, 8:25 max. Because I believe by 8:45 she was already on the road, and either there's a man following or a man driving, or a man sat there as well. There's a man involved somehow. There's an energy of a man, basically what I'm saying. So he knows what happened. I don't know why I just want to keep repeating the drain and this man. As in, only if we see it. Okay, I think you get it, right? And it could be a pond drain. He could be submerged. He could be up to, and this was the other thing, I was getting like, I think it was hard, up to 18-20 miles out, okay? I was getting hotspot between miles, not that whole time. And I can't remember what it was. I think it was like from 2.5, 3 kilometers up to either 5 or 8. And then it was cold between 8 to 12. 12 it got hot again. And then certain miles it got cold again. And there was really no need for this, you know, copyright, because the copyright was actually just a clip of, you know, the interviews that they've done on shows just as an intro into Kyron's story, in case. It had nothing to do with me taking any location or anything like that. It was basically showing you the interviews of what they've done. And a lot of body language experts do that, but I guess some channels like to just, when they can, take down. So it could be, you know, 2.5 to 3 miles out, and it could be a lot further. It's stagnant. The energy over there is stagnant right now. It needs some movement to revitalize. I don't know. I know that I was getting sent Helen's Road, and I'd seen that. I don't know if he's particularly there, but that's something that was coming up. I don't know if there's a road with the word street as a T as well. Or there's something that's significant in terms of TA near their home. The energy is that she was, so the home and school are close together. She wasn't driving in the direction of the home. She was driving further out, away from the home, is the energy. Okay, and the next part is Summerwells. I've still got more. 1 second. And I do think Suave Island is a place where they needed to look. I don't know if they got to it, if they did look at, or by that time they just didn't focus too much on it. So basically her phone had pinged somewhere near Suave Island, and it'd be great to know where exactly, because I think the ping was here and there's a big hot spot here. So that is significant in the case. He, you know, it is like further into the bush, but there's an openness. It's not dense forest. And I would check where there's pond or creek lines. So I remember something about, there was like 3 different creek or pond lines there, and obviously that's where also drainage systems are, right? But it's not a deep grave, and there are trees there. And I remember a creek called Duan or Doan at the time as well. So around, I remember there's like 3 creek lines, and there's one of the creek lines that actually goes out all the way into William Lake or something, but he's not, it's like here, and the hotspot is like here, but I looked to see where the creek line goes out, that's near it, and it goes out to William something, William Lake or something. But Doan Creek and the smaller creeks, also Northwest Leaf, where I think I saw some openings that were very similar to what I could see. I've just got some questions there if I was going to channel. I want to get through what I'd like to share. Are they still gathering round searches, by the way? You know, in these cases, people like to ask, will they be found? And I am, if you notice, I'm very reluctant. And I find there's a certain time where I feel confident to say it. Not confident, not because I'm not confident in my prediction. The element of that is because I believe God is the all-knowing, and I just ask for guidance to help. Or some psychics, I think, forget that humbleness, and I can't. I come from a background where God is the higher power, the universe is, and I respect that so much. And I don't like to say if someone will be found or not found at certain times, because when you lose confidence, you lose the energy that we need, especially if it's parents or anything. But I will not lie. Okay, so what I get in the energy, I will not lie. I've said about the timing. I think, you know, by 8:45, he was having something, or whatever she did, whether it's a soda. And that's why I believe he was last seen earlier than that. Because I think around, let me just ask the cards. Around 8:50, Kyron was in a state of going. 9, I'd give it 9:15 a.m. maximum gone. I've shuffled 3 times. I asked for any major arcana and the first card to come out if he was alive at 9:15 after. No card has come out. I'm going to take that as go with what we've said for now. Remember, energy that wants to show at a different time will show us. Bottom of the deck, I get a yes card, although I wasn't asking for a particular. I was asking, am I right to say that Kyron was emotionally abused and she was cruel? I get a yes card at the bottom of the deck, but the first card that came out is the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups upright would tell me a good energy. This is not a good energy, okay? This is someone who's self-centered, who is not in balance of what the 9 of Cups is, which is a wish fulfillment. She wasn't getting a wish fulfillment. There's the ending. And who? A maternal figure. You know, so to me, and the final card after Spirit wanted me to share this card of the story is the yes card. And hers are, you know, the Queen of Wands to me is the fire, the passion, the redhead. I just want to check something, because there's a connection, there's a word I want to say about the 9 of Cups in reverse that is significant, but it's on the tip of my tongue and I'm not getting it. Yeah, so she was nitpicking. Like she would, this is not the word. Basically, nitpicking as if he was imperfect, which goes with what I said about one of the motives. But let's just say it's a female, right? We see the female maternal figure who's involved. So let's go with that. Okay, so you can see how the cards are going to plan out. I think, like I said, check Suave Island, specific spot there. And then today, before doing this reading, I was just trying to look at other areas. And there was something, I don't know if someone works or related, or someone she knows lives or works near Bethany, Springfield. road or lane. And from Springfield Lane, they needed to move further into a bush nearer to the creek, where there could also be the drain and the water stream, but it's not like too far dense. I feel like they went too far dense and it's a bit here. And it could also be not far in from, like, if you look at Northwest Leaf, which I think I said that a minute ago. It seems like I brought it up again. Northwest Leaf Drive, Doan Creek. I've written that again, and I don't know if I'm saying it right, if how to spell it. Again, I say an older man was involved, but she was the last person. And let's see, yes, they were in the right area to find him. Very strong cards. So they were in the right area. What a shame. Okay. Then the 911 call. What time was that? Was that supposed to be after he returns on the bus? How could you... Oh yeah, his painting won't be with him. So he returned on the bus, and I think the 911 call was done. Was it by the stepmom? Let's see what the cards say. The 911 call. There's our Queen of Cups and maternal. So it was the female that did the call, okay, after disposing or after something of getting rid of something. And that doesn't mean straight away. It'll be at the right time, like after school, whatever it is. But there's a dissatisfaction there for some reason. There's like a snobbiness here with this. There's like, oh, just get it rid, you know, just... There's... I don't feel like this is someone who is heartbroken. And the call to 911, Queen of Cups and Four of Cups, saying someone is missing. Internally, the dissatisfaction, but this is someone who is... It's not someone grieving. So did she know something at this time? Yeah, I got my confirmation card, and the cards tell me a maternal figure not in the maternal energy she should. That's my confirmation card, that she knew by the time she did the 911 call, or the 911 call took place, what had happened to Kyron. So whether it's that person or not. Queen of Swords, someone who's harsh, someone who's lying, someone who's not telling the truth, yet somebody who's trying to show that they're the perfect person, and they try to look and what they did during their day, their whole plan of what they did during their day, but in like sort of like... I don't think she came across sad in that 911 call. Have they released that? Can anyone send that to me or link it from another channel? Not a psychic channel, like a news channel. It's kind of like this, what I did for my day, but I think if we listen to the 911, she's not going to be coming through sad. Okay. Now I want to ask, again, Kyron is not deep. I just want to say that. Obviously, this is the time of just getting rid. Skyline down into the forest area, but not too deep in. Check some creek lines. Check the areas I said, the miles out that I said where it's hot and cold. is kind of openish. I don't understand how he's not been found. Well, maybe it's not a forest area that they go to. It's stagnant. It's giving me stagnant energy, so it's not one of the ones that people trek up regularly. Can he be found? I get a yes. Okay. I get yes, but there's still something that is hidden that's not being able to bring it to justice. Now, if we think of who may be guilty in this case, there's not enough evidence to bring it to justice. Or can he be found is different to will he. Can he be found? Yes, he can. But there's the justice in this case is hidden. There's still not enough evidence presented to be able to bring into balance the justice and finding him. So he will be found, and it will be I feel like it'd be someone who maybe is walking along the way trying to find something with their kid, or they find something. It's going to happen unexpectedly. Okay, so hold your horses. Whoever is guilty in this, hold. I don't know how you live with yourself. Whoever's guilty. Yes, sun card again. Okay. Let's see something else. A Sagittarius person or someone with Sagittarius in their top sign is going to be very significant in helping or knowing what happened to Kyron. As well as patience. And I would say with this kind of crystal that Archangel Michael and Raphael would be good angels to ask. What am I asking? Hang on a sec. If you got my question, but Spirit's saying look at the bottom of the deck, Justice card. Beautiful card to see. I wanted to ask a question. Let's just, I've not got it, so I just want to go to this card here. This deck. Told to take 6 cards. 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6. So 6 cards. We've got an affair, so maybe this is where the male was helping. I think she might have suspected her husband having an affair as well. I'm not sure, but obviously they got together. Was it through an affair? Or she was with someone else. I'm not really sure. But we've got the affair card. We've got healing. Okay, so Kyron is healing. Imprisonment, obviously a soul is imprisoned until they're put to rest. Okay. At the same time, this could mean in terms of our justice system. Oh, not our justice system. The dog, I let the dog in and he's doing, if I could just show you, he's going on, he's just like messing around, rolling over. We've got cult. Okay, so I think that means that there's more than one involved here. And I'm going to pull a card on that. Inside, so inside job, someone who's close to Kyron, a couple. Again, we've got a man and woman. And hidden. So Kyron's hidden. Let's just get more cards on this cult. Had to let the dog in, but it's making me not focus. I've got 3 reversals. I've got the Ace of Cups in reverse. I've got the 3 of Swords in reverse. And I've got the Justice card in reverse. So 3 people know about this. We've mentioned 3 people. Justice has not been brought in this case. I'm getting that one or some people have got on with their lives, not thinking about justice in this case. The Ace of Cups, false heart, waters that run beneath. The 3 of Swords, that's not dealing with heartbreak. Justice that's not been served yet, and this is what the Court card has come out to mean. What I do want to say, what I do want to do now with these cards is, I now want to ask a slightly different question. Three of Swords as well, falsehood. Was the stepmom a Virgo or a Libra cusper? Now what happened to Kyron? A male is involved. Dismemberment, so getting rid of. If you look at that, it's not very shallow, right? It's not deep, right? Money, so someone's involvement could be money, or there could be a money motive. Definitely not an act intentional. There is water of significance, so boats nearby could be significant. The boat is generally travelled, so we said travelled further away from home, so not towards the home. And also the boat signifies you know, where there could be a waterway or something. And then we've got outer space, which could be what happened to him was an absolute disconnect to this is a child, love a child, don't be emotionally abusive. And also a disconnect in terms of where he was becoming unconscious, and then the final straw had happened. But that's what happened to him. So that's what I get. I forgot the question that I wanted to ask earlier, but I think we've covered most of it. If you've got questions, let me know. I'm going to try and process this right away so that you can see it on members. But I would say go back to those areas and have a look. Get the imprisonment card when I split the deck. Abuse, what I said. So that's what I would do in this case. I am thinking to get more another crime deck. They're so bloody expensive, aren't they? Crime or conspiracy or event deck, which all the tarot readers seem to be reading. It makes it very easy to put together. But it's okay. I tend to channel with the cards because tarot doesn't really tell you a story. So I hope this helps in Kyron's case, as the energy is right now. We'll do some more energy reads. How is the mum feeling right now? She's holding up hope. You know, she's got one. She's felt like she's had a battle on her hand, 5 of Wands. She's not been able to see clearly. There's been challenging decisions in front of her. There's a lot of fear, but also resentment. And she doesn't know where to turn. She feels like the wool has been pulled over her eyes in this case. The Queen of Cups is the mother. Obviously, she feels like she doesn't know what has happened. What do I mean by that? She does believe that the maternal presence has something to do with it, but there's a lot of secrets and she can't really pinpoint exactly what happened and where to find him and how to bring justice or pin the person who needs to be pinned down, shine a light on the person who needs to be held accountable. That's what I have for you. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helped, and I think I've covered everything for this edition. Take care of yourselves, and much love. Bye for now.